Hey everyone, hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. I just wanted to hop on and do a quick little Q&A about carb cycling, which is a topic I get asked about a lot. So I thought I would share with you a little bit about what carb cycling is, what it means, and how you can utilize it in your diet in some different ways. I asked in my stories for what questions you have, so I'll go through those. But first, let's just talk about what is carb cycling. So carb cycling is an advanced diet strategy that manipulates and utilizes your carb intake. And it's meant to match your body's need for glucose, okay? So when we eat carbs, our body digests them into glucose, which is then stored in our bodies. And this is different than protein. When we eat protein, we have to eat it every day. We don't store it in our bodies. We eat it, we use it. With carbs, when we eat carbs, the glucose can be stored in your body. So it actually means that your body can use glucose from carbs you've eaten in the previous days. And so that's why carb cycling can work for you instead of making carbs work against us, which is what a lot of people struggle, including myself, has been in the past. So we have to remember carbs serve a very important purpose in your body, okay? Glucose is what your brain runs off of. It provides energy. It helps you build muscle, okay? So we need carbs. We need to stop eliminating carbs from our diet. That's not the problem. Too many calories is the problem. So, and to take into consideration, if you're utilizing carb cycling, you still need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. So that's not going to change. So that's number one. Now, once we're eating the right numbers of carbs, it doesn't just mean you have as many as you want. You still need to stay in your right macro range, which is between you and yourself and Irene, or me if I'm your coach. So another thing to remember is carbs can help improve your hormone function. So those very important hormones, ghrelin and leptin, that tells your body when you're hungry and when you're not, are regulated by having carbs. So that's another reason not to eliminate them from your diet altogether. But it is true that you can burn more fat with less carbs, right? So how can we burn more fat but not feel tired and gross and cranky from having no carbs? That's the question. The answer can be carb cycling. So you can have higher carbs on some days and lower carbs on other days. That way your body is using that glucose that it's stored up on those low carb days, while your body's also able to burn more fat and burn fat for energy, because that's what it has left in its system. Your body's always going to use what it has left. It's going to start with the glucose, then it's going to go to fat after that, okay? And if you have neither of those there and you're under eating too much, then it's going to eat your protein and eat your muscle. So it's important to have the right amounts. Portions are key, okay? On your low carb days, you're going to usually put a little bit higher fats in your diet. So you shouldn't be feeling super drained or super tired. You should be able to balance out. And then when you go back to that high carb day, bam, your body just soaks it up. And it's something to kind of look forward to. And it provides variety in your diet, which is something I really appreciate. After a long time of meal prepping, it's nice to have some variety. So let's go over these questions. Get my computer. Okay, first one says, your vibes make me happy. Oh, your vibes make me happy. The second one says, what is the science behind it? How does it make you more lean? Okay, so the science behind it, carb cycling basically has two main benefits. It allows you to consume a higher number of carbs on some days, like I just said, and lower on the other days. And you can utilize that glucose on those low carb days and to burn more fat. So it's kind of letting you have your cake and eat it too, okay? So you get the energy and you feel better and your brain is functioning because you have glucose in your system, but you also can burn more fat because you're having lower carbs on those other days. So your body is forced to burn fat, and that's where we want it. Okay, how does it make you more lean? Carb cycling doesn't necessarily make you more lean, and it's very easy to eat a whole bunch of carbs on your high days and eat pizza and eat this and that, and then it's not going to work. So you have to still be strategic with it. So how it can help you to get more lean while still building more muscle is in that you still have that glucose in your body, Okay. So you're getting those benefits while still being on your low carb days. You're going to be burning more fat. So I sound like I'm repeating myself. It's because I am. So all of these questions can kind of be answered by that one statement. Okay, next one. How many days do you go low carb and high carb? Okay, so there's different ways to change this up, just like there's different ways to split up your workouts. So you can do a refeed. A refeed, you might do one super high carb day during the week, and then the rest of the days you have an even amount. You might do high, medium, and low days. This is something I used to do a lot. So if I was trying to grow my legs, my 2 leg days were my high carb days, and I would have like 225 grams of carbs or something. And then on my moderate days is like regular workouts, you know, like upper body, whatever, regular workout days, I would have like 150 grams of carbs. So a little bit, like 25% less or something. And then on my rest days, I would try to have no carbs, or like 50 carbs or less. So I don't even recommend that, but it's something you can try. How many carbs? How do you decide how many carbs to have on which days? So another option, and this is what I do, and this is what I like to do for most of my clients, is I will cycle it. So I will start with 4 or even 5 carbs. It all depends on your plan. And then the next day, take away 1, down to 4. Next day 3, next day 2, next day 1, back to 5. Or I might go 4, 3, 2, 1. Or I might go 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and give somebody a 0 carb day. I usually give some kind of carbs, and it makes life better, but it just depends. So that's a really good way to do it. I find that to be really effective, because as you're bringing down the carbs, your body is starting to run out of that glucose, and you're burning more fat. Now you might feel a little tired, but then you're going to have that high carb day, and mentally you know you have it coming. And so that's something that really helps me, is to cycle it that way. Does it make you feel tired? You should not feel overly tired or fatigued with carb cycling, because you should be replacing the carbs you're missing with the higher fats. And then also, you should be getting a higher carbs on your high day than if you had just a steady meal plan where you had the same number of carbs every day. So you should not feel overly tired. Your calorie range should be somewhat similar if you're replacing those missing carbs with healthy fats. And that is what I love about it, is it provides balance, it provides variety, and it allows you to be in control of what foods you're eating. So if you have something that you really want to eat, and it's a high carb thing, and you need to spend a little out of your carb budget on that day, you're going to make up for it on the other days. So that's what it's all about, finding that balance, and keep going with it. So carb cycling is a really, really good tool to have in your set of plans, and I hope you give it a try. If you have any more questions about carb cycling, get at me, JamieO'SheaFitness.com, JamieO'SheaFitness@gmail.com, or send me a DM. Have a good day.